Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm For Classic and welcome to BenchART. So for today what I have in it is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and this game it is developed by Respawn Entertainment, the same guys behind games like Titanfall and the Apex Legends. So yeah, they do have a great single player experience on Titanfall, but I wasn't really expecting these guys would pull it off in a Star Wars game. The game it is simply amazing. So it is using Unreal Engine 4 instead of using Source Engine or Frostbite. For the graphical settings I'm using all the post-processing effects, and the rest of the settings are at median, which in this game the median it is the lowest setting you can actually go for. You can't reduce more than median settings. So this is the requirements. These guys ask for an FX 6100, 8 gigs of RAM and a reasonable HD 7750 or a GeForce 650. So yeah, it's pretty much low requirements. Still we are below the minimum requirements on the CPU. If you look at the results, pretty much all the settings, I mean the median, the I and the epic offers pretty much the same performance. There isn't too much variance. Yes, there is a big gap between median and epic, but still it isn't that big of a difference. But if you look to the minimum frame rates, you can see that all the minimum frame rates are below 30 frames per second, and this is quite unfortunate, and there is a reason behind this. The reason is CPU. Most of these games stream a lot of assets these days, and this game have a lot of CPU usage while streaming assets, which causes the game to stutter a lot. And when I say stutter a lot, you will see in this video. Yes, I'm actually recording and this causes more stuttering than the usual. Without recording, the game performs way much better than you are actually seeing in here. But still, some stutters do happen even without recording, and seeing a CPU usage of 100% also still happens. And that causes some very consistent frame rates and a lot of stuttering going on. Even if you lock the game at 30 frames per second, the game will stutter from time to time when you kind of do quick movements with the camera or just enter in new areas. Apparently also PS4 and Xbox One are running into very big issues with this game. PS4 and Xbox One performs differently than on PC. For example, PS4 runs at 900p, which can it is using dynamic resolution, which can scale down to 720p. And also have issues with the streaming in this game, but it is different than the PC. For example, in PC we get stuttering from time to time on when entering new areas. The consoles don't stutter at all, but what happens really is the game, when it needs to load new assets, the game stops for 5, 7 seconds or 10 seconds. It doesn't matter the place or where. You can be in the middle of a boss fight and the console just stops for 10 seconds for loading assets. While on the PC it is constantly giving you small stutters, so yeah, none of them are a good thing. Either PC or consoles, they are all quite well performing like this. The thing is, the HD 7850 kind of performs pretty well in here. I mean, it performs mostly above 30 frames per second, and I'm pretty sure that if you have a much better CPU than a Phenom II, you will get a very good experience in this game at median settings or even at the high settings. Just keep the textures on median if you have 2 GB of VRAM in these cards. But I'm very impressed with the visuals. Even raising from median to epic, there isn't too much of a difference. So median being the lowest settings possible, it still looks phenomenal. It looks like, for example, Crysis 2. Crysis 2, when it was launched, it only allows you to select high, very high, or ultra, or something like that. I believe it was something like that. And even the players that selected the high settings, which was the minimum you can go for, you had a game that looked really good. And same goes with this Star Wars. If you select median settings, the game still looks phenomenal, and that is huge. Like I said, the game runs fine aside from these big stutters. I think it's more than playable if you ask me. But yeah, those stutters might get a little bit of some users very pissed off. Alright, the CPU usage it is very high. So if you have a Phenom II X4 clocked lower than 3.5 GHz, you might be having more issues than what I have in here. But if you have a higher clocked Phenom 2, or if you have a Phenom II X6 or an FX 6300 or higher, I'm pretty sure your experience with this game will be great, even with the HD 7850. So yeah, that's it. But what about the game itself? The game itself mixes up a lot of concepts from Uncharted, Tomb Raider, and a lot of Dark Souls in here. But the good thing is that if you hate Dark Souls because it is too difficult, Star Wars brings you the Dark Souls and Bloodborne experience to something more mainstream, much less difficult and much more pleasurous to play. So Respawn actually made a lot of this stuff into this game, and I think it works really well. I'm loving the game, honestly. I don't even like Star Wars, and I really think this game it is absolutely great. Possibly one of the biggest shams EA ever released on the latest years, because EA haven't released great games lately. Yes, Need for Speed Heat it is far better than the others, but still it isn't really a massive success. And seeing these Star Wars games getting released lately, even Battlefront, the multiplayer and all that stuff, it was great also. But come on, this game it is amazing. This Jedi Fallen Order, it works really well. And I'm not just talking graphically, I'm talking about gameplay. It is really well done. There is no microtransactions at all. There is also no multiplayer. It is a full raw single player game, just like the old days. Very well done, works really well, very well optimized. So yeah, that came for me it's a big surprise coming from EA, if you ask me. So they have a great decent game. Just for the price, it's their typical AAA price. I mean, it's $59.99 for the regular version, and if you want the premium version or whatever the name they want to call it, the DELUXE, whatever, it is $69.99 as usual. You can buy the game through Steam. Yes, if you want, you can buy the game through Steam, because this is another thing that actually EA surprised me. Now you can buy your Origin games through Steam. You still need Origin clients to run the game. So for example, if you buy through Steam and you launch the game, it will open Origin in order to play. It is pretty much the same thing as the Ubisoft titles. So when you buy a Ubisoft title through Steam, you still need to open Uplay in order to play. So it's the same thing with Origin, but still the game it is available on Steam, and this is quite surprising that EA have done that after so much time that they have been imposing you to use Origin. So I think that's all that I want to talk about Star Wars Fallen Order. Any questions, just leave on the comment section of the video. Thank you a lot for watching, and I do hope to keep you in here enjoying the rest of the video. So goodbye. Thank you.
Reinforcements are on the way.
Better.
There's the Jedi! Evade the blaster bolt! Get up there! Hurry! Checking target. Look up there! Don't let him escape! Keep calm. This'll make you pay. Target and fire.
Target hurt. Deal with me now, Jedi.
Don't fall behind, BD1.